there, welcome to Makeup Munchies and More. It's been a while since you've seen me on camera or my hands. I just wanted to pop on here because I have a couple of hauls to film, but I didn't want to post those hauls without letting you know what's up with me, and I didn't want to put this information in the hauls to bring the mood down or just have extra information that's not needed. So this video is basically just for my subscribers who have been wondering where I am, and a number of you reached out to me, and I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Yeah, the last haul that I posted was in October, and then I got caught up in the Christmas spirit, and I started doing my Christmas wreaths and crafting and wrapping, and I sort of got caught in binge watching a couple of programs. And then Christmas came, and then we prepared for New Year, and everything was great. And then on the day after New Year, January 2nd, my grandfather, whom you all know from my hashtag shopping with my grandfather hauls, he fell ill. He had pneumonia in one of his lungs, and he was hospitalized. So that sort of put a damper on our New Year. And he seemed to be okay. He progressively got better and was supposed to be released on the Saturday. So he was admitted Tuesday, was going to be released Saturday. I've stayed with him the majority of the week in the afternoons. He was great. We laughed, we talked, we fought. We made up our Dollarama lists for our next shopping trip. And when my mom went to pick him up on Saturday, she noticed he wasn't doing very well. He was shaking, he had high blood pressure, and that happens periodically, and we know he's not in a good state at that point. And my mom told the doctor, she said, listen, he can't go home. He's 90 years old. Look at the state he's in. The doctor was still ready to send him home. He said, well, he got up yesterday. He, did his ablutions by himself. He didn't need support. He's ready to go home. And my mom, she just blew a gasket and insisted that he stay another day. Doctor relented. He stayed another day. And then that night was his downfall. We don't know what happened. He just got worse. And finally on Tuesday, exactly 1 week from the day he was admitted, he passed away. And I've tried making this video a couple of times, but it's only now that I can say it without crying. He had a special relationship with all of us in the family. He did something different. He offered something different to each of the grandchildren's lives, and that was very special. And my aunt and my mom were super close to their parents, super close to my grandfather. My aunt would take him weekly to Costco with her. He loved that place. He loved his chicken fingers and fries. And my mom, every Saturday, my mom and dad would take him grocery shopping and to the bank, and everybody knew him. Everybody liked him. We, his family, respected, we loved him, and we liked him as well. He was a special guy, and I'm tearing up again. But I'm not going to cry. What made it doubly sad, and I never told any of you this, but last year I actually lost both of my grandmothers. The first one to go was my grandfather's wife of 64 years, who was suffering from dementia until she finally passed away from it. And the ironic thing is she passed away January 2nd, 2017. And that was the day that my grandfather was admitted to the hospital. And he was at the age where he kind of joked about his mortality. He was kind of ready to go. He would always say, oh, my friends are gone. There's nothing here, just you guys, and I don't want to bring you down. You know how more morbid you get the older you get. Can you imagine what we're going to be like at 90 if we're blessed to get to that age? So we would just say to him in the hospital on January 2nd of this year, like, don't you die. This is Grandma's day. let her have her day. She doesn't want you with her right now. Let her rest. Let her have some fun without you before you go and drive her nuts like you did in life. So yeah, that's the kind of guy he was. He was a whippersnapper. Can you use that expression for old people? The perfect correlation I can make in terms of personality is if you ever watched Three's Company, like from back in the day, he was Stanley Roper to a T. I would call him Stanley Roper. So yeah, my grandmother's death was very sad because she suffered for so long, but ultimately it was, we were kind of relieved, kind of happy for her because she never would have wanted to live in the state that she was at. And we really gave her a great send-off. My grandfather said to the girls in the family, you're not going to wear black, you're going to dress up, put on your makeup, do your hair, wear your bright nail polish, and just make your grandmother proud, because my grandmother loved to see us dressed up to the nines. And we did that for her, but mostly for him. It's so hard. For her, I was very calm. I could go up to the casket and look at her and kiss her, and I couldn't do that for him. His death, I refused to believe it because he was so vital and such a vital part of our daily lives. He lived alone. He walked straight. He used a cane, yes, but he was just perfect for 90. A little slow, but so what? So it was kind of hard to believe that he was gone. It still is kind of hard. It was very difficult for me to go to Dollarama for a few weeks. I know that's kind of an odd thing to say, but I am a haul channel. And that was something we did together. In the past few months, the only time that I went to Dollarama was with him, really. And it was hard. And I still haven't been to the Dollarama that we used to go to together. Can't do that yet. I don't know if I ever will be able to, but there are plenty of them in my city, so I'm not hurting for a Dollarama. So again, you may recall that he recently started crafting and using rhinestones to embellish the wooden boxes that you can find in the craft section. I'll put a picture here for you. And he made each of the grandchildren a box. He made each of the great-grandchildren a box, so we were all lucky to have those. Oh, for Christmas we had bought him a whole bunch of gems and a number of boxes to embellish, but unfortunately he didn't get around to that. And we actually used some of the gems to decorate the condolence book, the candle. We put my cousin's bejeweled box on display for the people coming to the visitation to see. I think we gave him a really good send-off, and there's so much I want to say, but I don't want to have a 2-hour video, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say. I loved him very much. I love all my grandparents very much. I do want to acknowledge as well that my paternal grandmother also died last year, and that also was sad. She was 96, mind you. My grandparents lived to a nice ripe age. She lived in assisted living homes. She was up and about herself. Her sister lived in the same home, so she had company. They would do activities. It was night and day with my maternal grandmother. My maternal grandmother suffered so much for the past almost 10 years. But my paternal grandmother had her wits about her. She still dyed her hair. She was quite the firecracker. And she also fell ill with pneumonia early last year. And finally in September, she passed away, which was odd to have two grandparents pass away so close together. My paternal grandfather died almost 30 years ago, pretty young. He was only 72. To be able to live long enough to see grandchildren is a pretty big feat indeed these days. It seems like people are just going too soon. It kind of gets depressing if you think about it. A lot of people have bigger tragedies in the world. A lot of YouTubers have been really affected by some crazy things lately. So it's not a tragedy per se, but for us, it was a tragedy. And yeah, that's it. So I have indulged in the past couple of weeks in quite a bit of dollar store retail therapy. So I have a couple of hauls coming up for you, one from Dollar Tree, one from Dollarama, and I hope you'll look out for those. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate you watching. I hope you're all doing well. I look forward to coming back. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Ciao for now.